So, what is for you the Google culture?
Well, I think that the Google culture is really about being entrepreneurial. Where do you want me looking? Just do you want,
Okay.
so.
Start again. No problem.
I think that the Google culture is really about being entrepreneurial, being innovative, really trying to find unique solutions using technology and a focus on the end user to innovate.
Okay. You are here from the beginning. Did you see this coming, the size of the company and what it has become?
I think that when I started at Google, I thought there was a chance that we would really revolutionize the way that search occurred on the internet. So I think that I saw a possibility for success, though I thought it was small, as it is with all startups. What I don't think I foresaw was how much search would become a central part of the internet itself, right? So I sort of viewed it as there are 10 or 15 different activities that people do online that are all equally important and will succeed in this one. But now looking at search and how much of an entry point it is to the web for so many people, it's clear that it plays a very important role.
Do you think the Google is changing the way that search things in the web?
I don't understand.
Do you think that the Google is changing the way they search things in the web?
Well, I'll just tell one story, which is when you think about how have we changed the way we get information. So I lived on a street that had lots and lots of kids, and we liked to play group sports. So one afternoon we decided that we should set up a baseball diamond. And we had a really big backyard, and it merged with one of the other kids' backyards, so we had lots of space. And we decided we should set up a baseball diamond. And we couldn't figure out how many feet were there between the bases. We wanted to set up a big, authentic baseball diamond, and then, of course, play like a 7-on-7 baseball team game, and we couldn't. Because we just couldn't, was it 85 feet, was it 90 feet? No one knew, and no one wanted to spend the time that it would take to find out. Because in the mid-1980s, it meant driving to the library or having your parents drive you to the library, looking it up in an encyclopedia, doing all this research. And today, think about what it would be. It would be one of us running into our houses, doing a Google search, and knowing, 30 seconds later, the number of feet between the bases. So when you think about even small things like that, like that's sort of a silly play-based example, but it shows you that even small amounts of trivia that affect our everyday lives are just so much easier to get now. It's the difference between what used to be 30 minutes is now 30 seconds. And I think that fundamentally changes the way that people get information.
And do you think that make us less intelligent? Because when we were young, we have to remember things. Now we have just one click and search whatever.
I think that what technology does is it causes people to learn in new ways. So a lot of the rote memorization that had to occur in the past isn't where people should really be developing their learning and thinking skills. Instead, I'm hoping that by having great information finding tools like search, like the internet, what it ultimately means is that people can spend more time with critical thinking skills, critical problem solving skills, and really becoming much more flexible thinkers, where it's not what you know, it's how you think. And so it's a different type of intelligence, and one that I think society is really morphing to quickly.
What do you see is coming? For instance, in Argentina, now it's very common, the social network, Google boost the computing cloud. What do you see is coming in the future?
Well, I think there's all kinds of exciting things that will happen on the internet. Of course, I am primarily focused on and interested in search. And I think when you think about search, a lot of people say, well, isn't search done? And I think search has barely gotten started. When you think about all the searches you could do all day long, that it's not possible to search today and find. On your phone, in your car, can you talk to the search engine? Can you type in anything other than keywords? What if you wanted to type in a question? Do we do a good job with that or not? And then when you start thinking about the media explosion that's occurring online with videos, books, local information, news, there's just more information online than ever before. How do we pull that together into a coherent, cohesive experience rather than just 10 blue links? So our search results feel more like answers to a question as opposed to 10 random links.
Why is so important to Google the cloud computing?
Well, I think that one thing that we've seen that's really interesting is in developing Google, we've built up large data centers of computers. These are computers that are always on, they're available, they're reliable. In fact, they're much more reliable than your home computer because we often store things in duplicate or triplicate. And that means that there's a less of a chance of your data getting lost. Right, the same way the Google search engine doesn't get lost, like your data won't get lost. And so it makes sense for people to use the low-cost infrastructure that we've built in developing the search engine to store the files that they really care about. And we think that by moving the web forward as a platform, helping the web advance, causing people to become more comfortable keeping their data on the web and using the web, what ultimately happens is, one, you'll build really good businesses around cloud computing and data storage for people, but two, by those people becoming more comfortable with the web, they ultimately search more. So you actually get two effects that are both very good for Google, and we also believe are good for end users.
Nobody is complaining that you will have this kind of information and a lot of information. It's not dangerous?
I don't understand.
Google now has a lot of information, and people never complain about